Hi everyone, so today I've come to do another craft along with me. So I've made this little autumn mini like scrappy junk journal thing that I've been making. Been making these over the last few weeks now, and I had this all printed out and ready to go, so I thought today I will show you how I make it. So this is obviously the finished product, and what you're about to watch is me make this, and there'll be voiceovers where I feel that I need to, and if there's anything that I don't mention and that you want to know, then feel free to ask away in the comments box below. If you like the video, we'd love it if you gave me a thumbs up and left a comment. Like I said, this will be for sale. It will be in my shop. I've got some other journals in there at the moment as well, so stay tuned and watch me make this. Hi everyone, so this is how I do the small journals. I print my images to a page, and sometimes I don't use them all. I sometimes cut these in half as well, so I'm just showing you this as I'm doing this autumn journal. And again, two to a page. If it's a PDF, these are all JPEGs. I think that it was a JPEG at one point, and I just thinking more wanted JPEGs because my PDF wasn't playing at the time. So sometimes it has played me up in the past for some reason, so I just turned them into JPEGs and printed two to a page. Okay, so as you can see, I'm doing this autumn journal. If it's a PDF, you can, if you're printing like a whole kit or whatever, just go on to like multiple pages. When your options come up, click on multiple pages and then click two that you want to a page. Make sure you've got it in the portrait or the landscape, whichever is the biggest, because sometimes it shows you and they're really tiny, and that might be landscape. So if you click on portrait, it will come up in the bigger, like this size, when it prints out. So that's just my little tip on that whilst I'm making this journal. So here I am just trimming all the papers. I'm just showing you I'm doing it by ruler. You can do it with a paper trimmer or a blade and a ruler. I'm not going to show you all of it. I'm just doing this one for you here to show you my method of using the ruler and but just a paper tear basically. So that's everything cut. Well, not everything, because there was a few bits I still had to print, and a few bits I had to go diving for, looking in tubs and stuff because I've got so much stuff still printed out. So anyway, here, this is just the coffee dyed plain paper I'm measuring. So my journal is going to be 6 by 3 1/4, so that was me trimming the paper to that. Looks like I got a shaky hand, but I wasn't. I think it was like, I don't know why I do that, but I do. I obviously do. Like kind of shuffle the paper up for some reason. But anyway, this coffee paper is actually sprayed. It's not actually like coffee dyed. There we go, that's that all trimmed. And now I'm just kind of measuring like where I want the page, the papers in the signature, and I have them at all different, like not lengths but different widths, to just for a little bit of interest. So that's me done it all. Put the signature together there, and I'm just going to sew it with some linen thread, wax linen thread. I always add a little bit of beeswax. I didn't do any measuring, I just kind of eyeballed it. If it was a journal with like obviously 2, 3, 4 signatures, I always measure that just so that they're all set nicely in its cover. But this isn't got a cover as such. It's going to have the crochet doily. You can use an awl, you can use a needle. I used a needle today. I used an awl yesterday to punch holes, but today I'm using a needle. I just use what I want to when I want to. You just find your own little ways, little quirky ways of doing stuff, and that's just mine. I think sometimes I think I'm not using you today, awl, because I used you yesterday. I'm going to use a needle today. Right, so here I'm going to start putting in some pockets. So I'm going to shush, and you can just watch the process of me putting in the pockets. So now I've got my stencil out, and I'm just going to do a little bit of stenciling just to add some interest on some of the pages, mainly just the coffee sprayed papers, not the papers that were printed and coffee dyed, just these ones. So this is all the stuff that I've got to pop inside the journal, and you can watch me pop it all in. So I'm just going to go through the journal and add things with, obviously into the pockets, add things with paper clips, tie little bits of coffee dyed or trims onto the paper clips just for some added interest. And that's just how I fill a journal up. There actually is a lot there, and I didn't think I'd use it all, but I did. So everything that was there went into that little journal. So here I'm just adding 2 little buttons, just in the middle of the signature on the long pieces of linen thread that I had left over, that I didn't cut off or didn't tie it in a bow. So here I'm making some bead dangles. They're very plain bead dangles, they're nothing like exciting. That was me trying to zoom in. Failed completely. So I'd run out of my little pins that I normally use, so I have been using, since I've got about a million paper clips, I've been using them. I've been straightening them out, and I have been putting little like curly circle things at the end, and the tops when I've added on my beads, as you're just about to see here, and they work a treat. So that's going to save me a little bit of money. So there we go, I made 4 in total, so just watch me make these now. So now I'm going to add them to the lacy trims on the pages on my journal. So I'm using little tiny jump rings, which are really fiddly, and I am absolutely rubbish at using my left hand with them pliers. I do have smaller pliers, but I don't know where they are. They're actually, as you can tell, they're like out of the husband's toolbox. So I put on the 4 bead dangles. So now I'm going to create the closure, which is really simple. So you'll need a crochet doily, you will need a little bit of fabric of some sort for your tie, and a button, and a needle and cotton or thread, whatever you want to call them. And I sew my button onto the fabric first, just to make sure that that's nice and secure. Do that, I don't know how many times, 3, 4, do as many as you like, just until the button feels secure on the fabric, and then I go through and do that about 5 or 6 times to make sure that that is all sturdy on there as well, that it's not going to come off when you pull it. And if your doily has got lots more holes in it than this particular one, because I've got ones, just make sure that you're sewing it onto like a good area on your doily, otherwise it will just fall apart.